This is Odysseus, who has spent more than half of his life fighting for his people. After 20 years of battle after battle, he finally returns to his land, a land now ruled by his son Telemachus, who has never known his father and faces a difficult situation. The line of suitors seeking to marry his mother and usurp the throne is long. Though he wishes to confront them, Telemachus is more of a diplomat than warrior. These are soft words to say he is a coward, incapable of wielding a sword to defend what is his by right of blood. For years he has ruled with a gentle hand, and problems have mounted until the nobles are losing patience with his leadership. Queen Penelope prays every day for her husband's return, but after more than 20 years without any news, all she can do is cling to hope and to the promises he made her before he left. One morning, Eumaeus, the youngest and strongest in the village, challenges Telemachus to a fight for the throne. Although he is not noble, and the combat would be illegitimate, he only seeks to humiliate the king, who attempts peaceful dialogue. At that moment, Antinous appears and intervenes in the matter. He is a very wealthy noble who manages to calm Eumaeus' temper with a few coins. Then he catches up to Telemachus to warn him that soon no one will stop the usurpers. Every day the nobles gather in the common room and talk about their incompetence. Soon the words will turn into threats, and someone could cross the line and murder him. That would leave his mother defenseless. They must make a decision soon for both their sakes. The young man meets Antinous and knows he is a decent man. He seeks approval to marry his mother, arguing it is best for the throne. They cannot allow it to fall into the wrong hands. Telemachus promises to think about it and withdraws. Later, she speaks with her mother, who can no longer leave the castle. Whenever she goes to the market, she is harassed by dozens of men who will not leave her alone, so she has retreated to her room with her loom. Telemachus tells her about the proposal from Antinous, and she replies that she will only decide once she finishes the loom she has been weaving. However, she admits that Antinous has been a good friend for years. He gifted her the loom and provides all the wool she needs. Plus, he is a respectful man, unlike the others, making him the best candidate of them all. Yet she still clings to the hope that her husband will return and keeps her promise. When the loom is finished, I will make my decision. Meanwhile, a poor fisherman finds Odysseus washed ashore on the beach near his home. The man is almost dead, so he picks him up and carries him back to his home, where he treats his wounds. His name is Eumaeus, and though he has very little, he never hesitates to use what he has to save a life. This philosophy is not shared by Hippotas, who argues with him for spending what little they have on a total stranger. However, as long as Eumaeus remains the master of the house, Hippotas and Pelito must keep their opinions to themselves as they reside under his roof. It is his medicine, and if the gods have placed this man in his path, who is he to resist their will? First, he will save this man's life, then help him fulfill his destiny. Hippotas storms off, furious, accusing him of being mad. They've gone hungry for days, and he decides to spend his food on a nobody who will probably die no matter what. To everyone's surprise, when night falls, Odysseus wakes up and tells them about the battles he fought against the Trojans, months that turned into years destroying villages and murdering their people. Now he is the last one left of those who are gone. He is a broken man, but not as weak as Hippotas thinks. Hippotas tells him that no one in that land remembers him, so no one will show him respect, especially seeing him now. The best thing he could have done was to die at sea. Perhaps he would have attracted fish, and they would still have the medicine that Eumaeus wasted on saving his life. Each night, Penelope retreats into the loom room to undo all the progress she made during the day. This clever strategy is designed to buy her more precious time, allowing her to continue telling her persistent suitors that she will finally reach a decision once the shroud is finished. One morning, Telemachus visits his grandfather to ask him to return to the castle and help him manage the city. However, the old man could not be more useless. His mind has already succumbed to dementia, so it would be a mistake to entrust him with anything at all. Hoping for news about his father, Telemachus borrows a boat from Antinous and follows the same path his father took so many years ago. The young man leaves without his mother's blessing, feeling desperate because of their current dire situation. Penelope finds out too late. Her son has gone. Antinous explains the purpose of the trip and offers his help, but only if she accepts it. Antinous acts with respect, aware that Penelope is a firm and tenacious woman who will not succumb to his rival's methods. Nevertheless, he does not rule out the idea of killing Telemachus when the moment arrives. After all, he is a calculating man who did not reach nobility by treating everyone with the same respect he shows her. A few days later, news of the death of the father of Odysseus spreads across the island. Odysseus attends the funeral from a safe distance. He is not yet ready to rise up before his people. He will wait until he has the strength to confront the usurpers of the throne. When he sees his wife in the distance, every part of him longs to hold her, but a group of men appears. It is the Suitors, who demand that Penelope make a decision. They argue this will not only save her son's life, but also give hope to the people, since no one believes Telemachus has the courage to lead. Their patience is wearing thin, and rumors claim that Telemachus has fled, abandoning his mother. This means the throne is available for anyone who decides to take it. However, she remains firm. She reminds them that she is still the queen and they must respect her. She promises to choose a husband when she finishes her Loom project, which she plans to wear at her wedding and is nearly complete. Upon hearing this, Odysseus decides to return to the castle, but no one recognizes him. Only his dog Argos identifies his old master and welcomes him. Sadly, he passes away a few seconds later. It seems Argos' only mission before dying was to see his master one last time. Odysseus enters the great hall of his castle but does not reveal his identity. He walks around, asking for food while claiming to be an old soldier from the Trojan War. The men present mock the old man, throwing food and wine in his face before forcing him to fight an opponent 3 times his weight. Despite the disadvantage, Odysseus kills the giant with one blow. He leaves disappointed upon seeing what his home has become. It is a den of drunks and drunken nobles who have lost their sense of duty. But before he leaves, Penelope appears and invites him to stay, ordering her old maid to attend him. During the night, while the maid bathes Odysseus, she recognizes a scar on his leg. She immediately calls him by name, and he grabs her throat, threatening her to stay silent. Meanwhile, Penelope breaks down at the thought that she has a few days of freedom left and ends up destroying the loom. The days race by. Telemachus returns empty-handed, confirming he is incapable of any task. Penelope warns him that he must leave or his life will be in danger. At that moment, Antinous arrives with a formal marriage proposal, and it seems Penelope might accept. Furthermore, Telemachus abandons the castle. Antinous orders his men to capture him, but he has already disappeared and meets Eumaeus, requesting help to escape. Eumaeus is the only one who possesses a boat in good condition. For an instant, Telemachus and his father admire each other, but they fail to recognize one another. In the villa, the friends of Telemachus are tortured in search of information. Eurymaco, following orders from Antinous, leads the hunt with hounds to find the young man. Unaware of the danger lurking, Telemachus naively prepares to receive 2 men who appear to be looking for him, when Odysseus knocks him out with a blow. The men attack upon seeing this, and Odysseus is forced to kill them to protect his son. Before the others arrive, everyone escapes into the forest and crosses a waterfall to throw the dogs off their scent. Back in the city, Antinous discovers Penelope undoing the loom. His threat is blunt. If she does not agree to marry him, her son will pay with his life. The next morning, Penelope summons all the suitors and announces that she will not be the one to decide. The gods will choose for her. She takes her husband's bow and places 20 figures upon a rock. He declares that the man who succeeds in shooting through the 20 hollow figures without knocking any down shall be the worthy heir to the throne. The trial begins, and many men cannot even draw the bow, let alone aim accurately. To everyone's surprise, Odysseus appears and requests the queen's permission to try. Penelope agrees. He takes the bow and, knowing its secret, warms the frame by the hall's fire before stringing it without difficulty, a technique that only the owner of the weapon would know. Without hesitation, Odysseus takes an arrow and fires. The arrow cuts through the air, passing through all the figures without knocking any down, thus proving he is the one chosen by the gods to be king. However, this test does not convince the others, who demand his departure. It is clear that no matter whom Penelope chooses, the others will attack, since each believes he deserves the throne. Before they can make a move, Odysseus grabs his quiver and readies for battle, sending deadly arrows straight into the hearts of his opponents. He shouts at Telemachus to get his mother to safety, but, finally determined to be useful, his son stays to fight alongside his father. While Odysseus destroys everyone present sword in hand, Antinous surrenders and begs his majesty for mercy. Penelope is willing to forgive him, but Telemachus refuses and murders him in front of everyone. After eliminating all the traitors, he lets his father reclaim the throne while he sets sail for the sea, promising to return as a man worthy of inheriting the kingdom when the time comes. And that is how this great movie ends. subscribe, turn on notifications, and thanks for watching.